Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everyone. This is Tom Zeng, your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Good morning, everybody. This is Tom Zeng, your local realtor friend. Today, I would like to share with you one of the cases that got canceled. And it's truly unique. We don't see that every day, but we have heard about it. It's an issue that I have heard for many years since in my career, but the first time I have encountered personally in my own case. I'm a listing agent in West LA on Camden Avenue. I'm a listing agent on a property at West LA. And very quickly in today's market, 10 days in the market, we got a qualifying buyer who is willing to pay a good price for this property. And we opened escrow. It's a 30-day escrow, and buyer were going very smoothly. The loan was going smoothly on the 28th days when the final down payment is about due. My escrow officer and called me, hey, I got to tell you an emergency situation, or I got to call you an issue we just happened. The buyer just called me and asked if I received the final down payment. But I have not even, the escrow officer said, I have not even wired. But the escrow officer said, I have not even wired. I have not even sent out the wiring instruction to her yet. So where and how much, she shouldn't even know how much to wire and where to wire to. And she said, oh yeah, I've been talking with the TC, transaction coordinator, hired by the buyer and buyer's agent. That is to work with her to make sure that all documents and that's supposed to be there and all the signatures are supposed to be there. I heard the TC has sent me a wiring instruction and told me to send to here, and there. Is that right? And the escrow verified the escrow number, the wiring instruction are complete different banks, different wiring numbers. And she said, no, this is the wrong one. And the TC, go ask the TC why she sent you this one. She go back to ask the CTC. The transaction coordinator said, I don't even know this. What? This conversation never happened. I don't know what you sent it out. So it turns out that the TC's email was hacked, and somebody sent through using the TC's email and start sending wiring instruction, the fraudulent wiring instruction to different buyers and chatted. And somehow all the communication with the buyer and the TC were one-on-one. And all these messages were not received by any agents. And even the TC herself didn't get it. It's like it got hacked. But they checked the email address and everything looked exactly the same. So the buyer has spent 2 days going to 2 different banks and wired the full down payment amount and then called the escrow company. Did you got my money? Do you see where the issue comes at? Well, I think a better way would have been to call the escrow, and say, hey, I'm gonna go wire this amount now. I wanna make sure if this is wiring number is correct and this amount is correct before you do the wire, not afterward. And I wanna share with you that in California Association of Realtor, in every single purchase transaction, you are gonna see this document. It's called the Wire Fraud Electronic Funds Transfer Advisory. I got this from my previous deal that I closed 2 years ago. But basically what it says is to obtain the phone numbers and account numbers only from escrow officers, property managers, or your realtor and landlord at the beginning of the transaction. And do not wire or electronically transfer funds prior to calling to confirm the transfer introductions. Do not ever wire or electronically transfer funds prior to calling to confirm the transfer instructions. Only use a phone number you were provided previously. Do not use any different phone number or account number included in any email transfer instructions. That this could have been the case. She got because sometimes hackers are hacking. They're embedded in some of those email accounts, and they have like spiders searching for keywords such as transfer, wire, something like that instruction. And as soon as they are sent out, they'll mask the email of whatever the person, and then say, hey, oh, sorry, that was the wrong one. Please send it to this one. So I have heard previously that this is how it often happened. If here's the escrow sending out the real one, and then the fake one, hacker, come in and say, hey, please send it to a new one. The previous one was false. If the buyer does not call escrow to check, she might have sent to the wrong person. Or if she called the second email's provided number, she might have called the wrong person. So it has to be the initial one that you wire to. And also it's generally often the same account as you sent the EMD deposit. If they have received your initial earnest money deposit, it's most likely going to be the same number when you wire your down payment, and not going to be a two different account. So, and orally confirm the transfer instruction is legitimate and confirm the bank routing number, account number, and other codes before taking steps to transfer the funds. So orally communicate, hey, I want to make sure is this number right, and you don't want to text or leave any of these personal information or data either via email or text message, because these are devices that could be hacked. And take steps to secure system you are using with your email account. These steps include create strong password, use secure Wi-Fi, and not using free services. By free services, it could be the free internet provided by the Starbucks, by the hotel, or in the lobby, things like that on the public area. So really be careful on this. The reason why this CARWFA wire fraud advisory is in place is because we see so much victims. These frauds have cost California and the nation hundreds of millions of dollars in volume. So CAR, California Association of Realtors, does not just create a contract out of middle of nowhere or when one person loses. These paperworks are only formed. We only form these drafts after dozens of victims have happened, and this is for everybody to sign. And I want to alert and remind everybody: please call your agent and call your escrow officer before you do the wire, not after you do the wire. Check with the amount if that's the right time to wire, if that's the right amount to wire, and that's the right account to wire. And especially be on high alert if you receive different versions of wiring instructions. You want to double check, triple check, quadruple check, and check with your realtor, check with everybody. Make it public, okay, before you wire. Anyways, so as a conclusion of the fraud, the buyer has lost $180,000. They were first-time home buyers, so their whole life savings were wiped out by this fraud guy. And of their $26,000 earnest money deposit, since I represent the seller, and we show great empathy for the situation, but the seller also incurred many loss in this transaction, which is 30 days of work completely going into waste. His work, my work, we take time off to notarize the grant deed and 1 month extra mortgage, insurance, HOA. We did all the tenant repair work and everything. So in this case of the $26,000 deposit, we withheld $5,000 just to recover the loss and return the $21,000 to the buyer. And really sorry about the buyer for their loss. I don't want any one of you in front of this screen to see that or have any of that happen to you. Please call your escrow company before you make any wire or electronic fund transfer. This is Tom Tseng, your local realtor. If you have any real estate questions or real estate needs, feel free to call me at 909-272-9217. Your home sold guaranteed, or I'll buy it.